It's wild. And we got to talk to our Vancouver bureau chief, Farhan Lalji, about this thing because, Farhan, this team had 16 shots in 58 minutes. You sent a tweet that said, basically you counted them out. You said they had no push. You thought they were happy to go home with a split. Frankly, I agreed with you because who could blame them? They're playing with their third-string goaltender, and there was no quit in these Vancouver Canucks. Brock Besser scores 2 goals. They win it in OT. I'd love to get your overall thoughts about what happened. Did you see this from this team in any capacity?
No, not at all. And that's not an insult to the team. It's just what I was seeing in this particular game. I mean, I was sure that the first question Rick Tocchet was going to have to answer from the media after the game was, why did your team have no push in the third? Because when they were losing in Game 2 in Vancouver, the ice was completely tilted. There was massive push. There was nothing here but the one line that continued to play throughout this game. You know, this team doesn't get enough shots on goal at all, except for the JT Miller-Brock Besser line. And when you look at Besser on that play to tie the game, and then just this game should have been over with that empty netter, and then one more opportunity. Brock Besser, who scored the eventual game-winning goal in the last game, gets a hat trick in this game. That was the one line they could continue to count on, whether it was JT Miller generating shots in the last game, scoring chances in this game, and Brock Besser, 12 shot attempts, 8 shots on goal. His goal to make it 3-2 was only the Canucks' 4th shot of the third period. I don't take it back. They had nothing. Absolutely nothing. But then in the last 3 minutes, somehow they found something.
It was incredible. It was just an amazing story. And yet the other story of the game for the Vancouver Canucks, aside from the goaltending situation, which is just unbelievable, is the fact that the Preds seem to have figured out a way to neutralize Quinn Hughes in games 3 and 4 in this series. How are they able to do that, Farhan?
Yeah, you know, this was their plan from Game 1, but in the first 2 games in Vancouver, I don't know that Rick Tocchet tried to get Quinn Hughes away from anybody, but he was just able to navigate the entries, or the breakouts, I should say, do his thing in the neutral zone, play with speed, and he was effective, especially in Game 1 and in the second half of Game 2. But here, you could see, like, he was just getting drilled. It happened in Game 3. It happened again here after this particular hit when he got double-teamed. He was talking to trainers on the bench. He missed a shift. And look at this play here, really soft play on the wall that almost leads to an empty net goal. He looked like a player that had nothing left. His ice time was down in Game 3, but then all of a sudden he breaks Gus Nyquist's ankles. He finished the game on a 2-minute and 32-second shift. He didn't leave. So a player that physically looked like the beating was taking its toll showed why he's the Canucks captain, showed that he is worthy of a Norris Trophy, showed that he still is able to find something even when it looks like it could be lost, and he still winds up finishing with over 24 minutes in this game if you factor in the overtime. So again, it looked like Nashville's strategy in games 3 and 4 was paying off. If this series becomes long, it was going to potentially pay off then, but he found something at the end. That 2-minute and 32-second shift, how he was able to turn Nyquist and again literally break his ankles was amazing to me.
And then you have Arturs Silovs, who was more like Arturs Urbe picking up the win. But looking ahead now, can you explain exactly what you feel the Canucks goaltending situation will look like as we head into Game 5 with them and a chance to finish this off?
Yeah, my gut feeling is that Casey DeSmith will probably be the Game 5 goaltender in this game. It's amazing. This team has won 3 games with 3 different goaltenders. In Vancouver, when Silovs plays, they call it an arty party. So, you know, he had some success down the stretch, but, you know, they did turn it over to DeSmith, as you would expect. He didn't have to necessarily do a ton in terms of 5-alarm saves, but, you know, I think he did his part, you know, for the most part in this game. You can't ask for anything more from a third-string goalie than what he was able to deliver in this one. And, you know, he gave up that goal early in the third period, but then he allowed his team to still stay in it and find a little bit of a push in those final couple of minutes. So I think if you're Silovs, you've absolutely checked the box in terms of your future in this organization. But my understanding as far as the DeSmith injury is concerned, it's not believed to be very serious. It happened late in Game 3, and I think they were being very, very cautious. Again, he did take part in a full practice yesterday, so it would not surprise me if he was the starter in Game 5.
How does it feel to know that you inspired this team's comeback with your tweet, single-handedly?
Well, I'll keep doing it. I'll keep doing it if that's what it's going to take, because Lord knows all of Canucks Twitter is trying to dunk on me after that tweet. But again, I don't take it back, because in the third period the other night in Vancouver when they were trailing, it was a different team. This team for 17 minutes looked like they were ready to go home with a split. but they found something late, and their big guns, that Miller and Besser line, did it for them.
It's an incredible story. We're going to hear Marty Biron's thoughts about this comeback in just a minute. Farhan, Lalji, thanks for this. Right now, let's head to Colorado.